Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the channel, My Geezer Guitar Journey. First of all, want to give a shout out to Matt, who purchased the Mitchell T231 CE this morning. And Matt, nice meeting you. Nice guy. He and I are going to stay in touch. But here's what's funny about the whole thing, is while we were completing the deal, we met at a mall nearby my house. Nice guy, really nice guy. So Matt says to me, he said, yeah, he said, I'm, big fan of Alan Jackson. I said, oh my God, me too. And I said, as a matter of fact, on my YouTube channel, I have several Alan Jackson songs. He goes, oh my God, you look familiar. Are you My Geezer Guitar Journey? I'm like, holy crap. Somebody actually in public recognized me. So Matt, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. So Matt bought that. Now in the meantime, I had already sold the Yamaha, let's see, what was that Yamaha? It was the, oh shoot, was it I think it was a 325. Yeah, pretty sure it was a 325. And so this morning I was looking at several options, and I had a 800, FG 800 Yamaha. I looked at a Alvarez. I looked at a Takamine. What else did I look at? I looked at like maybe a half dozen guitars. And so when I got home from meeting with Matt, I said, you know what? I'm gonna see what's out there. And there was a guitar that I looked at, but it was out of my price range. It was an FG 850 by Yamaha. Now, these were limited edition guitars. I think they were only produced for 1 year. They were solid mahogany, mahogany top, back, and sides, NATO neck, which was a matte finish neck. They had the urea saddle and bridge, rosewood fretboard and rosewood bridge, and I'm sorry, urea saddle and nut, rosewood fretboard and bridge. And this guy had one up for sale, said it was like new, only used a couple times. And these things sell new for right around $510, $520. As a matter of fact, you can buy them right now so you can buy them right now at Guitar Center for $509. Now remember, I started out with $40. $40 in a Gibson Maestro that was given to me. And over time I have built up to where I now own the Orangewood Austin, which probably is worth about $190. Brand new, they're about $230, $240 with the equipment that I have. And so I made an offer to David, who sold me the Yamaha FG 850. And my first offer, he said, no, I'd rather keep it. I said, I understand completely. So I put together a little bit more money, not much, I mean $25. And I said, look, I understand you're not interested at that price, but this is what I can do. Would you consider it? At that point, he sent me a message saying somebody was interested at the full asking price, and that he would get back to me if they didn't take it. Now remember, he lives maybe 2 miles from me, 3 miles. We didn't know this, but I mean, when they do what area they're in, you can tell. So I said, just so you know, I have cash in hand and I'm close by. Bingo. David sends me a message. What's your schedule today? I said, I'm available right this minute. He said, if you can make it here before I have to go to work, I'll take the deal. Bingo. I said, I'm on my way. So here we go. Solid mahogany. Beautiful guitar. FG 850. Sound is amazing. And by far, the most expensive guitar I bought out of the 20. No, I shouldn't say by far. The D'Angelico, as far as value, was pretty close. It was probably a $480 guitar, and this one's like $510. So those are pretty close, but those are both far and away above what anything else I've bought. Now I haven't changed strings yet. I haven't done any setup. It was pretty much, it's pretty much got a high action right now. So I'm going to play it for a few days before I make any string changes or anything. But this thing is just absolutely beautiful. Love it. My wife said, well, you're only going to have it for a few days. And I said, well, don't bet on that, because this one's nice. I mean, not that my other guitars haven't been nice, but... So anyway, I wasn't even planning, since I had so much going on today, I wasn't even planning on doing any songs. And we got a long weekend going. Tomorrow we got a ball game at... we have one in the morning at 9 o'clock. And then the next one we have at 3. And in the meantime, the 2 grandsons decided they wanted to stay overnight. So we're going to have them. We're going to go to the game at 9 and bring them home here. I think my daughter and her husband will come and have lunch with us. Then we'll go back to the other game. We'll bring the boys back here. Now, since they're playing baseball, it's going to be hot, hotter than 80s. And so I think what we'll do is when they come home, we will let them take nice tepid showers and get relaxed. Their favorite meal when they come here to stay overnight is our local pizza place, Marco's. By the way, excellent pizza. We love their pizza. Always see their toppings are always top-notch quality and quantity. So that's why we like them so much. Anyway, so I'm going to do just a real short, funny video today. And I think you'll all get a kick out of it. Now, just so you know, this is going to be something that all the people in my age group, anyway, are going to get a kick out of. If you remember, back in let's see, I'm not sure. It probably started in the 60s. I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure. The Beverly Hillbillies. And of course, the Beverly Hillbillies had several spin-offs, including Green Acres, Petticoat Junction, and a lot of the actors and actresses would cross over and appear in each other's shows. You know, one of my all-time favorite characters was Mr. Haney. He was hysterical, typical salesman. So I was a salesman all my life, so I'm allowed to say that. Anyway, this is the theme song from Petticoat Junction. There is a capo on the 3rd fret. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. I've always loved this about some of the models of Yamaha. And that is that they use, even though if they use high gloss finish on the body, which this is. And by the way, my Mitchell was open pore. Now, open pore, you got to be very careful. You got to make sure you don't use chemicals. You don't use any kind of cleaner, wood cleaner or anything. Because what happens is it's open pore. It's going to absorb it. So you use just a very lightly damp microfiber cloth. That's what I always did. That's what was recommended. But this has a high gloss finish, and then the NATO neck has a satin finish. And the satin finish always has been a much easier, it's much easier on your hand when you're playing. It's the only way to put it. Anyway, I will give you a play along from Larry Lover. That's who the play along is from. The ultimate guitar version is a lot different, but I'm going to go ahead and give you that. I'll look and see. I doubt that there is a karaoke version, but if there is, I'll include that. So anyway, let's go ahead and do the theme song from Petticoat Junction.
Come ride a little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of girls you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate, come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe, he's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
So I hope that brought back some memories. I wasn't planning on doing anything today, but I wanted to play my new guitar. Man, I love this. Like I said, my wife said, well, you're only going to have it for a few days. And I said, no, I don't think so. This one's going to last a while. But I can tell he had not done any oiling of the fretboard or the bridge. In fact, the bridge is so dusty. Wow, look at that. I don't know if you can see that on the thing, but it is really dusty. I just wiped my finger and wiped it off. And it still has, that's what's funny. It's still got the plastic coating on the finger or the pick guard. So, the other thing, man, this thing has got detail you can't believe. The binding is multicolor, multi-finished. It's unreal, unbelievably gorgeous. I believe it's abalone. So this thing is, this is by far this is the highest quality guitar I've owned so far. So, even the less expensive Yamahas are nice. So I'm sure this is going to be fun. This is going to be great. I love the I love the string pegs. I check to make sure there's no pulling up of the bridge at all, no swelling below the bridge. You know, sometimes what will happen is because the bridge is being stressed, you know, there's a lot of stress from the neck to the bridge, and what will happen is it'll actually lift up the body a little bit, and you'll have like a hump. So if you guys are new to guitars and you're shopping for a used guitar, kind of look for that. Make sure there's no, right in this area, no lump, no almost like a turtle's back, not quite as dramatic, but something like that. You know, and that's another thing too. I'm no expert on things, but I do study, and I am very careful about what I buy, and that's why if you look at my, you know, on those 20 guitars I bought and sold, look at my rating on the marketplaces. I don't have anything that's less than 5 stars. Nothing. Everything's top notch, because whatever I sell, I represent perfectly. I'll tell them exactly what's going on with it. And most people that I've dealt with have done that. This guy was right. This thing is in beautiful condition. I mean, it needs care, it needs maintenance, but you know, it's not a big deal. So anyway, again, Matt, I hope you love the Mitchell. He played it in the parking lot we were meeting at, and he agreed with me. I said, look, this thing, and it has to do with that mahogany body. It's got a beautiful mellow but strong but mellow tone. And I think you hear that in this one too. Although this one, of course, slightly bigger. You know, that was a cutaway. So you got a little more bass, just like the Orangewood. The Orangewood is the same way. You got more bass, but you don't lose it in the mids and the highs, which is what makes a great guitar, in my opinion. Anyway, so listen, don't forget, I love you guys. Comments, questions, queries, suggestions, and a request. Like and subscribe. I will see you next song.